The following is an exclusive presentation of WI Garden Media, the voice of Garden Talk Radio. Coming up on the program today, we're going to discuss cast iron cooking and accessories, as well as understanding different kinds of teas, as we will have Chatter Spot again, and we'll answer your garden questions. The hour's full, so join us.
You are listening to the most informationally packed hour of garden-focused radio in the country and on the internet with your host, husband and wife team Joey and Holly Baird. This is the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show.
And welcome to another edition of the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show. So thankful that you've taken time out of your day to allow us to be part of it. I'm your host, Joey Baird. Beside me is my wife, co-host, best friend, and gardening partner,
Holly Baird.
This program is for you, about you, to help your garden grow better, to maintain your landscape, grow healthier trees, make your grass look greener, and preserving what you grow. Happy you're tuning in. Whether you're doing such on one of the 20 AM and FM frequencies, broadcasting our program here in 2025 through a radio app, through our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, underneath the Radio 9 tab at the top of the page, podcast replay or in-studio video replay. Thank you so much for consuming the program. You want to be partaking in the program yourself, in addition to listening, you can do that sending us an email. GardenTalkRadio@gmail.com. That's GardenTalkRadio@gmail.com. Let us know where you're listening from. Have a question, send it on over, or you can give us a call toll-free, coast to coast at 1-800-927-SHOW, 1-800-927-7469. If we can't get to you, leave a message. We will call you back. Before we get in the program, Holly, it's time for this week's Joke of the Week.
All right, so who helped the butternut squash cross the road?
Oh, jeepers. Tomato, the pepper, or the leek because he leaped? No, too much?
The crossing gourd.
Okay. Sounds like a cartoon character on a Saturday morning cartoon. Here's the crossing gourd.
Yeah. All right, anyway. This week's garden joke is brought to you by Rescue.com, American-made rescue products. Keep your family, home, and yard protected from pests such as wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, flies, ants, and more. Learn more at Rescue.com. That's RESCUE.com.
An appropriate joke for the time of year. Wonder who the mailman would be. What vegetable would be the mailman?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
I feel like maybe like a cucumber because it's hydrated. You know, because cucumbers are so full of water, then because the mailman could get dehydrated. Does that make sense?
I think we've gone way off of where it went from cute to scientific.
Okay, well, that was my thought.
Okay.
Anyway. So we're going to talk about cast iron.
You may cook in a variety of different material-made pans and saucers, from non-stick to aluminum to stainless steel. Cast iron has been the tried and true go-to for years. I'm sure many of you can remember growing up and at least having one cast iron pot or pan that was used in your kitchen. I remember, well, we had several. One was always used for homemade fried chicken.
What's funny is when I was a child or growing up, we didn't cook in cast iron.
Do you know why?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe because we had these glass ones.
Glass pans, yeah.
Glass, to boil water and stuff, whatever you want to call them.
They look like a pan, but they're all made of like a special kind of heat-resistant glass.
I think they were that one brand. But we didn't have cast iron. I remember when Teflon came out, and that was huge. So I think we got a non-stick pan.
And now we've learned that may not be the most healthy thing because,
Right. I mean, I'm talking about, the 90s or whatever.
Yeah, back in the day.
And I remember we had...
When we were kids.
We had, not stainless steel, whatever that's called, that steel that people cook in.
Oh, okay. I'll call it stainless steel. Are you not?
Maybe it's stainless steel.
Is that not what we... Aluminum? That's not right? No.
I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, so cast iron...
The light metal stuff with the bronze bottom on the pan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably got it at JCPenney's or Sears.
Probably. Probably Sears, yes. So anyway, back to cast iron. It holds heat well. It's naturally nonstick.
First of all, it is heavy.
It is heavy.
Whether you get a 6-inch, an 8-inch... They have, 12, 14, 24. There's some strength that you need in order to just maneuver it, let alone maneuver it with pork chops or venison or steaks or a pile of vegetables inside of it.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I don't like about cast iron is how heavy it becomes once you put a bunch of stuff into it.
Mm-hmm.
Not because it's heavy, it's because you have to make sure you have hot pads.
Right.
Which we're going to talk about is how it
But
holds
what
you
is
out.
different than a 8-quart pot that you're boiling macaroni and cheese in and moving it from the
Usually
stove?
it has like a plastic handle.
Well, it
so
has
it's
2
cooler.
handles. Cast iron will typically have one big handle and then a little nub to hold on to.
I don't know. I like cast iron for a lot of reasons, but I think it's just because I was used to lighter pans.
Okay.
Anyway, so it holds the heat well, naturally nonstick.
I mean, when we say hold the heat, you have that thing on high and then you can turn it off and it still cooks for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people like about it, but also don't like about it because there's like a learning curve, but because it stays
Burn
warm.
count?
Yeah, because it stays warm, you can make the food, and like we do when we're camping, you can make it in parts.
Well, yeah, we cook it in the 8-inch skillet, get whatever we're like eggs or hash browns.
Yeah.
Get them cooked and then put the lid on it and set it over on the ground, and it's still cooking or staying warm for 20 minutes later.
Oh yeah, for sure. And even it doesn't have to be, potatoes. It can be vegetables or what have you, meat, etc. Obviously, like some meats you don't want to
Overcook. Yeah.
or keep cooking.
And the advantage to cast iron is a mineral. It's a supplement that all bodies need. So as you're cooking, there are microscopic particles that are coming off that you're going to ingest and your body is going to beneficially utilize for your health and well-being.
Now, it's not proven that it can help. Like if you actually have anemia, it's not proven that it can
No, it's
help
not a fix.
that. No, but it does give you, supplement iron. It's pretty easy to clean.
Well, you can get you can lose friends and you put it in the dishwasher. People, that's forbidden. Some people will take the same cast iron and all they do is whatever they've cooked, they will take and wipe it out with a paper towel or a rag, and that's it. They'll put it back on wherever they're storing, and then they'll recook on. They continue to season it. And if it was pork chops tonight, they'll wipe it out and put green beans in it tomorrow, and lamb in it on Friday night. They don't scrub it. They don't put it in the dishwasher.
A lot of people eat lamb on Friday night.
I don't know. I'm using that as an example.
All right. It's also affordable when you might think, how is that affordable? I've looked at the prices, but because they last
buy one, cry
forever.
Buy once, cry once.
Right. They last forever, essentially. And I mean, Joey has seen them, and I've seen them at like thrift stores or yard sales.
Like
whatever.
retail price.
Right. No, we've seen them at yard sales, and you've done the
reseason them. Yeah. They've if the thing could sell storage. I know Griswold is a very popular old variety that people like long to get. That's like a collector's version, and the markings on the bottom. But you can find any of these videos that this pan was in this barn for as long as I can remember, and this gentleman is very up in age, and he takes it and does the thing and season it, and then boom, it's like a brand new pan. I've taken old rusty ones and turned them into operational, brand new seasoned. If they get rusty, wipe some oil in them, put them on a hot fire or in the oven. Right away, they're back seasoned. And the cleaning it with the water, that's what's de-seasoning it. That's what's opening the pores back up in the middle.
There's nothing wrong with cleaning it with the water.
There are certain recommendations based on how you're supposed to clean it, but some people don't follow those recommendations.
Yes. So that comes down to it's an investment, and I think that you can you can find them at thrift stores, secondhand shops. I would say definitely watch the prices because some of these thrift stores are trying to.
I know, but if it's something that you've never seen before and you want, you're gonna. I know we've done this. We see things that I only remember this when I was 8 years old or whatever. You're gonna buy it, regardless of what the price is, because you may never see another one that type of model, style, whatever again. Yeah,
that's true. You got those what are they, like Christmas tree shapes or something? No. Hearts? Was it a heart? I don't know.
In cast iron?
Yeah, wasn't it cast iron or no?
There was little Christmas tree that was like from the mid '90s that was at a thrift store that I bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Christmas tree cookie. You were supposed to make like chocolate chip cookies in it. Okay.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah, so anyway, back to that. Speaking of that, they come in many shapes and sizes. So they have, the round, and then also they have like the Dutch oven. There's ones that are like 16 inches across that you could feed a whole, family.
There's thin wall, tall wall,
yeah.
or short wall, tall wall. Yeah. There's
Like
golden
pancakes.
cast iron. There's octagons. You can spend
Waffle maker type things.
Yeah, you can make you can spend $40 to $50 on a cheap one, or you can spend $300 to $400 on a nice one. I mean, they're all nice if you take care of them and know what you're doing. But the type of cast iron, and you can big box store version versus the name brand version, a difference in weight and a difference in texture and the difference in the type of material just by feeling it. One feels like sandpaper and the other feels much smoother. If I'm looking at buying cast iron, I'm going to look at a name brand that is durably made with the correct with good material, not a off-brand material made pan in order to sell it for a fraction of the price, because you're probably going to fight with issues from day one.
Right. And especially if you are buying it as an investment, you want to make sure you are buying something that is going to last a long time and not just have problems in a few years. I do like how, again, we talked about how you can cook in them and then serve in them. And if you're making a nice table setting or something, it can look nice and cohesive if you're using a bunch of cast iron.
The biggest cast iron skillet in the world, the largest cast iron skillet in the world, was created by a company. They're not a sponsor, so I'm not going to name them. Measuring 18 feet from handle to handle and weighed 14,360 pounds.
What do they do with that?
It's their company. Here's what we do. Here's our big.
Oh, maybe it's in their office.
Yeah, it's in their office. Yeah. Approximately 18 feet, 5.5 meters, and 14,360 pounds, or 6,514 kilograms. It's located in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. You can do your research and find out what company that is.
Right.
We are brought to you by WaltonsInc.com.
Yeah, Walton's knows you care about where your food comes from. You may be canning and preserving, but what about the meat? At Walton's, you can get the equipment, seasoning, and supplies to make sausage, jerky, and any other meat product your way to your high standards. Do you want to make snack sticks that people will actually like? Walton's created MeatJustSticks.com, an informational site to help you make the best finished product. They have everything you need. You can go to WaltonsInc.com, use code GROW50, that's GROW50, to save 10% off your orders of $50 or more.
When we return, teas, T-E-A-S, teas, drinking teas. We're going to discuss those. You're tuned in the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show.
Have a garden question? Give Joey and Holly a call now or anytime 24/7. Just dial 1-800-927-SHOW. If you can't get through, leave a message and they will call you back. Call now, 1-800-927-SHOW.
Azure Standard is America's premier family-owned online store for organic foods and healthy products for your home and garden. They deliver directly to families and commercial customers through over 3,500 drop points across all 50 states. Azure Standard strives to make grocery shopping easy, bringing all your needs to one convenient pickup location. As a trusted national health food distributor, Azure Standard offers bulk and specialty health foods to communities nationwide. With over 12,000 products, each one is approved and carefully sampled to ensure the highest quality. Azure Standard holds firm to non-GMO, organic, and natural standards. From food and beauty products to household items, nutritional supplements, animal care, hobby supplies, and even garden essentials, Azure Standard truly has everything for your daily living. Visit AzureStandard.com, that's A-Z-U-R-E Standard.com. Use promo code Joey and Holly 15 at checkout to get 15% off for new customers who open an account for the first time and place a minimum order of $100 or more, shipped to a drop location of your choice. That's code Joey and Holly 15 at AzureStandard.com. Azure Standard is A-Z-U-R-E Standard.com.
Jung Seed Company is a family-owned and operated gardening company since 1907 with the largest selection of seeds and plants online. Use coupon code 15TG25 to receive 15% off your order at jungseed.com. That coupon code is 15TG25. TG25 to save 15% off your order at junkseed.com.
RH Shumway is a family-owned and operated gardening company with a large selection of seeds and plants online. You can use code 15TG25 to receive 15% off your order at rhshumway.com. That's code 15TG25. Garden like a pro in 3 easy steps and receive customized fertilizer recommendations for your garden or lawn. Soil Savvy helps you determine what nutrients your plants need to thrive. Never again over-apply nutrients they don't need. A patented process that makes you a smart gardener. To get your soil test kit, go to mysoilsavvy.com.
Do you have nuts or fruit in your yard? A Nut Wizard is a handy, effective tool that will pick up round or oval tree produce quickly and easily, leaving debris behind for a clean harvest. A Nut Wizard tool saves your back and your time. Visit nutwizard.com for more information. Wisconsin Greenhouse Company has custom-made greenhouses to suit your needs. Grow year-round. Strongest greenhouses that will last a lifetime. From agricultural to lounging to entertaining. For more information, go to wisconsingreenhousecompany.com. Welcome back to the Garden with Joy and Holly radio show. Happy to have you around. Thank you so much for spending time with us and allowing us to be part of your day. We're going to talk about the world of teas. First off, if you want to know more information about those sponsors you've heard and all the companies that support the program to allow it to be heard each week on your favorite radio station, you can find that out at our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, underneath the Money tab at the top of the page.
All right, so tea is derived from the leaves of this evergreen plant. It's called the Camellia sinensis plant. So this is for true leaf tea, as opposed to, you might think, well, I grow chamomile and lavender and I make that into a tea, or I use evergreen needles. Like we're talking about like
the classification of what tea, in order to be certified name tea, this is what we're referring to. Okay.
Like, I mean, we've grown lemongrass and dried it and I made it into tea, and that's fine. So the beverage is not made from this plant, the evergreen plant. Are like herbal teas are botanically called tisanes, not true tea. So there's five types of true tea. So there's white tea. This is minimal processing and it's low in oxidation. It's kind of like the younger leaves, and it's more delicate, subtle. If you've ever had white tea, it has a very subtle tea flavor. Most of the time it's getting flavor from herbs and whatnot. And then green tea, these leaves are quickly heated after harvesting to stop oxidation. To me, green tea is a little bit more bitter. Mm-hmm. That's the flavor of green tea. There's oolong. Oolong tea has a nice flavor to me. It's partially oxidized. And then black tea is fully oxidized, leaving to the darker color and bolder flavor. And as these teas become more oxidized and the more caffeine levels have in them.
Now, does all tea have some level of caffeine, or it depends on the category?
Depends on the category.
White tea is a floral, grassy, honey, fruity, melon, peach, apricot, vanilla, chocolate, citrus, those type of flavors or
that pair well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Green tea is usually fruit flavors that kind of pair well. And then black tea is kind of across the gamut. Like I used to get this peach black tea, or like if you think about iced tea is made from black tea. So there's like raspberry black teas, lemon, etc. So I guess that's more fruit as well. And that's purge tea, and this is a type of fermented dark tea. So those are your 5 classifications.
All true teas have some level of caffeine in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe white tea does have some caffeine. I don't know why I thought that was caffeine free, but okay. So if you're caffeine sensitive, maybe stick to the
the amount of caffeine depends on the varieties, depending on the types of tea and the brewing method and the quality of the leaves in which it is made from.
Yeah. So even iced tea is going to have
some people have, there's I've never been to the South, but there are some restaurants that have just incredibly good sweet tea.
You've been to like West Virginia.
Well, I know, but I mean like Alabama, Georgia, like the true deep authentic South.
Yeah.
I'm sure people in Virginia and northern Arkansas consider, and I'm not discriminating against, but what I'm referring to is really good either sweet tea or unsweetened tea, like the really authentic, true old-time tea. There are some restaurants that do have really good tea, and there are some restaurants that have really poor examples of good tea.
This is true. This is very true. So if you're a tea connoisseur, I guess, you would want to, a general guide is 3 grams, which is about 1 teaspoon of loose leaf tea per 8 ounces of water. So you want to boil your water, and then you want to add your tea, however you choose to do so, or you can use packets. We're not going to gatekeep or judge here. With that being said, there are different temperature degrees depending on the tea that you are brewing. So white and green teas, which are the more light teas, I guess. We use that word.
On the spectrum. Yeah.
160 degrees to 180 degrees. Because these teas, I believe, if you overheat them, they become more bitter. And, yeah, more bitter. I had a friend who sold teas. And, she was telling me all about this.
Well, not all teas have to be drunk hot, okay? Not we're talking about the brewing process, but many teas can be drank or utilized as cold or iced teas. So it can be on both levels. Because if you don't want to have, I mean, we watched gardening videos years back from people who had allotments in the UK, and it didn't matter if it was 105 degrees or 4 degrees, they had hot tea. It was time for a cup of tea. Yeah, they're very regular on their time of day and what they drink. And I guess that's just like traditionally.
Even some Canadians are like that too.
Well, isn't a lot of the Canadian heritage come from that UK area? Okay.
Which doesn't make sense because they don't drive on the wrong side of the road.
But they still use the same metric system.
Yes.
And some of them go, it's 17 inches, but I'm 8 kilometers from the house.
17 inches is not 8 kilometers.
No, what I'm saying, we've watched people.
Meters.
No, we've watched people who are campers or whatever. And they, I'm building this and I need 17 inches, and the cabin here is 8 kilometers from my. They mix.
Well, I think it's because
Celsius and
when it comes to building stuff, they have to use the
standard
American.
Well, it's not standard.
Standard because of how the building materials.
Well, 2x4s, and it's not
you
like
can't say 45 centimeters by 8 centimeters or whatever. Anyway, so back to tea. So
that might be a universal lumber measurement thing. I don't know. I'm not a lumberologist, so I don't know.
Like a carpenter.
Yeah.
All right. So you are very good with many things, but you're not a carpenter.
I can build some stuff.
I want you to build me this bench.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later off show. So. White tea, green teas, 160 degrees to 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 71 to 82 degrees Celsius. Oolong, black and pearl teas is 185 to 204 Fahrenheit, and that's 85 to 96 Celsius. I can tell I'm, like, when I, at work, I would deal with a lot of numbers, and in my head, I'd type, 204, but when you say it out loud, it's 204. Herbal teas, 204 to 212. Herbal teas are more forgiving. I like herbal teas. I prefer herbal teas, especially, I like to, after, in the winter, after I've worked out, I bring tea with me, and then I drink it on my way home, and it's like...
Hot tea?
Hot tea.
Okay.
And it's, nice and...
So herbal tea, there's no flavor outside of the origins of that tea leaf. It's not like vanilla something or... strawberry or this.
But there's no herbal tea can be. It's not like real tea. It's not like pure tea or whatever you want to call it, official tea.
Okay.
It's just like the herbs. So it's like chamomile is from the chamomile plant, or something like I get the spice tea. So it's all the spices.
Okay.
Yeah. So tea has many benefits. Antioxidant properties is one of them. They contain polyphenols and flavonoids, which is an antioxidant. Polyphenols are also in things like dark chocolate, dark berries, which is antioxidant, grapes, things like that. They also help to improve heart health because it can lower the blood pressure and reduce inflammation, so that's good to know. and it can enhance your brain function.
Yeah. So those are the types of teas. Now, the teas in which we have, there's like a blackberry leaf tea or raspberry tea. Those are not quote unquote traditional teas, correct? Those are like more herbal teas.
What kind of blackberry?
Like blackberry or
those are herbal teas.
Okay, those are herbal teas.
So there's the true teas, which come from the leaves from that evergreen plant. And then there's the herbal teas that are like fruit teas. Now, there can be a combination. So there can be like, you could get like green blackberry tea. And that's going to be a combination of herbal with the tea. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Like my friend, she likes to drink mango green tea. I can't stand green tea, but she likes the mango green tea.
Well, they have, what is it? You can buy like green tea in a major company bottles it in small, 16-ounce bottles of.
Oh yeah. They have black tea too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of tea, iced tea, cold tea, bottled tea, whatever you want to call it, that you can buy from the store. Anyway, so back to enhancing brain function. Tea contains caffeine, which can give that mild energy boost, and then it provides amino acids that promotes relaxation and focus. Tea can stimulate digestion. I can talk because it helps the digestive enzymes, and that can reduce bloating.
And who can't handle? You want a story about bloating?
Sure.
Well, in cattle, growing up on the farm, it's a farm, so it's not a human story. So,
okay.
We would have the occasional cow that would overeat either silage or hay, and they would get bloated. And the way you would de-bloat them, I guess, is you don't call the veterinarian if you're a farmer. You call the veterinarian when very bad things. As a farmer, you've learned how to manage certain animal problems.
Right.
So you take a garden hose and you actually put it down the esophagus in order to open up the stomach cavity through the esophagus. And once you do that, you can literally hear all that air comes back out of it.
Are you saying you should have give the cow tea?
No, I'm just telling you because you said bloated and I thought of a story.
You thought of the story.
Uh-huh.
That's my job.
Oh, okay.
I'm the one who thinks of the stories when you bring something up.
And it doesn't hurt the cow. It actually relieves the cow and makes them extremely calm because
it's probably like when we burp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like assisted burping.
Okay. Well, they have 5 stomachs, so yeah.
So it helped one of their 5 stomachs.
Well, you go down until you get, and then it just, and you can watch it. It looks like they swallowed a 55-gallon drum.
Really?
It is humongous how bloated they get if you don't catch it.
How many times have you done this?
It's been a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Little check mark.
Yeah. Don't do this to your wife or husband. You seek medical professionals.
Or your cat or dog.
No.
Anyway, so did we talk about metabolism?
No, go ahead.
Okay, boost metabolism. They say that, can slightly increase your metabolism. How true that is, they're not sure, but it's possible.
But drinking tea, even with a somewhat level of caffeine, is by far, me thinking, is much better than consuming sodas that have different types of dyes or corn syrup in them at any type of level. That it's better to drink tea than to drink a soda.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see why not now.
It's because it's not more natural, and you don't have, if you look at the ingredients on a soda bottle, regardless of who makes it, there's a lot of stuff in there that, What is this?
Right. I would say it is better. I know some people add a lot of sugar to their tea, so if you're trying to
Would you like some tea with your sugar?
If you're trying to reduce your sugar intake, then you would want to compare that to soda.
Oh, good unsweetened tea is really good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You like unsweetened tea?
I like unsweetened tea. I'll take a sweetened tea every now and then, but a unsweetened tea is really good.
Anyway, so it can improve your reduce the risk of cancers because of those free radicals, or they help the antioxidants that combat the free radicals, which sounds kind of funny, but yeah, so that's the thing. And then improves oral health, and then it can also reduce stress and anxiety. And obviously tea is very hydrating because it's water, liquid, etc.
There you go.
Yeah. Joey, summer is winding down, but just because it's fall, we don't want to forget about our yards and those Japanese beetles and other grubs. They may now be hidden, but they're not far. Not only did the beetles feast on your roses and berries this summer, they laid eggs in your turf so that they can invade your yard again next year. Fight back with Phylum's Grub Gone. Grub Gone is a non-chemical BT granule that applied to lawns and specifically targets scarab pests and their larvae with an 80% plus control even in the fall.
Holly, did you know that Grub Gone is the only non-chemical choice that effectively controls grubs? And when you combine it with the best chemical grub control at very low amounts, BioAdvanced grub control products, the tough-to-kill fall season grubs, are hit with a 1-2 punch that kills them at the best rate tested, nearly 100%. This combo of the best of biology and chemistry is called IPM, Integrated Pest Management, which is the best industry practice. Mix 1.25 pounds of each per 1,000 square feet equals 100% control. Grub Gone from Phylum Bioproducts, the best combination of safety and performance. Hang out with us when we return another segment of Chatterspot. If you're unfamiliar with what Chatterspot is, we'll go over that before we get started. You're tuned in to the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show.
Got a question for Joey and Holly? Send it via email anytime to gardentalkradio@gmail.com.
4-Jar Canning Supply, your one-stop shop for all your canning needs, where old ways meet new in every jar. They are a family with decades of home canning experience, offering top-quality products and outstanding service. Never run out of canning lids again. Whether you're a seasoned canner or just starting out, their extensive range of canning products will elevate your canning game. 4jars.com. Inspired by the homemade preserves of our childhoods, they want to share that same joy with you. They deeply care about your family's health and understand the importance of homemade, nutritious meals. That's why they offer high-quality products to help you preserve your food. Quality canning lids, pressure canners, vacuum seal machines, and all the tools you need to get the job done. 4Jars has you covered. Our canning lids provide the perfect airtight seal for any regular, wide, or gym-sized jar. With the thickest lids on the market, they provide long-lasting freshness, up to 18 months, and are rust-resistant, ensuring your preserves stay secure. Use code 4jars25 to save 10% off your order at 4jars.com. That's FORJARS25 to save 10% off your order at 4jars, FORJARS.com. Check out ivorganics.com. It's America's leading garden product YouTube channel. IV Organic products are innovative, organic, effective, and proudly USA made to help you achieve your best growing season. Use coupon code RADIO10 at checkout and save 10% on your entire order at ivorganics.com. That coupon code again is RADIO10 to save 10% on your order at ivorganics.com. Vermont Bean Company is a family-owned and operated gardening company with the largest selection of seeds online. Use coupon code 15TG25 to receive 15% off your order at vermontbean.com. That coupon code is 15TG25 to receive 15% off your order at vermontbean.com. Welcome back to the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show. Happy to have you along. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your day. Want more information about those sponsors and everyone you hear on the program to allow it to be heard on your station? Our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, underneath the Radio 9 tab at the top of the page, and coupon codes can be found under the Money tab. Well, it's time for another segment of Chatterspot. It is a segment in which Holly and I discuss unique, fun questions on how we would, of different things. So you'll get the gist of it here momentarily. So let's start with drink packets or drink mixes that don't exist that you think should exist.
So what Joe is referring to, what people would call like Crystal Light, which has now evolved to many different brands coming out with many different flavors of drink mixes.
One little tube is equal to one water bottle, essentially.
Basically, yeah. And there's like everything from, orange to strawberry to sweet tea flavors to margarita flavors, etc. So, Yeah, so for me, so you know how people, when they have parties, or they used to have parties, they would make that punch where it's like punch and then like white soda and sherbet. And it's really good party punch.
Yeah.
A flavor like that would be good.
But without the carbonation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like cheesecake, barbecue sauce.
Barbecue. You want to drink barbecue sauce?
Well, if you did it right, there's some really good barbecue sauces.
That's okay. I'm judging right now. Cheesecake.
Cheesecake would be good.
Like, you could do that.
They have cheesecake mixes?
No, but they have like vanilla.
I know, but I want cheesecake.
They might have cheesecake.
I'm sure some people would like chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate. I don't know. I just thought of that fruit punch was like the first one. I think like
maybe some people would like fruit drink sticks that mimic their favorite beer without the alcohol.
That would be good, but I think that'd be weird without carbonation.
I think if you're wanting to drink without having to have the alcohol.
Yeah, that's true. And again, like I said, there's flavors like the margarita, strawberry daiquiri, whatever. So maybe other type of cocktail drinks, flavors like old fashioned or whatever. I think old fashions are kind of boozy, so I'm not really sure how that would work out.
So you can see the pattern, and this is kind of how Chatterspot goes. If you want to submit your question, you can gardentalkradio@gmail.com or 1-800-927-SHOW. Places or a place that you want to go regardless on Earth, regardless of cost or travel expense, anything like that. Is there any place that you would like to go?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Alaska.
Okay.
And I think at some point I'm going to drag you to Alaska.
For what specific
just
reason?
Because people say it's just so beautiful. And you and I are outdoorsy. Why wouldn't you want to see Alaska?
Except for, when the grizzly bears is dragging your leg off after it's bit
we would stay safe. And then also India. I've always wanted to go to India. I don't know if I would love traveling
Do you
there.
like Indian food?
I love Indian food. How do you not know that?
I'm asking it for the conversation purpose.
I love Indian food. I think the culture and just the people, really beautiful. I know it's very, very crowded in certain spots, but there's also like some tropical areas that I've learned about, and I think it would be nice. What about you?
The Milk River in Montana.
What's that?
It is
Is it white?
No, it is an area where certain hunting protection value people go to hunt, but there's a lot of alfalfa fields, a lot of irrigation, and the deer come out of the mountain and feed in the alfalfa fields, and in the afternoon there can be literally 300 to 500 deer. You sit on top of a cliff and you can scan 5 or 6 fields, and there's literally hundreds of deer in these fields, and at night they go back up.
And you can just get them?
You can, you select which one you want, and then you can pattern and all this. Yeah. But if you're a hunter, that's a place that many people want to go. It's a very beautiful place.
So why don't we go? I'd go to Montana.
Oh, well.
Just call me Cowboy Bill.
I don't think that, yeah.
Is that why Wyoming's a cowboy state, right?
I believe.
I forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so...
sayings that don't make sense.
One time, my dad said something like, you can't eat cake with both shoes on. I don't know what he said, but it sounded like some old timer saying, and you can't sit with your shoes on and eat. I can't remember what it was.
Okay, well, that really doesn't
It didn't make any sense, though. Maybe you've heard it before or something similar. I don't know.
It's not like it's not the end of the world. Okay, first of all, if it is the end of the world, what are you going to do?
Right.
What are you going to? It's the end of the world. Well, it's not like it's the end of the world. Well, if the tire blows out and it's not the end of the world, if it is in the world, it's the end of the world. Get over it. We're done. It's like
I'm going to start saying that to you all the time now.
It's like remember.
Does it bother you?
Remember. Well, there's people who are extreme preppers.
Yeah.
That believe that if the world ends, that they will be able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
What's the end game? If everybo's wiped off the face of the earth except for you and your husband and your 3 kids that live in a bunker under fill in the blank.
I don't know if they think
what's the plan?
If it's going to be something where they repopulate the earth, is that the thing? Me and my children repopulated.
Well, there's a certain point where things.
Yeah,
that's
true too. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
You can't
so you would need like another family that's not related to you to
populate the earth, like after the flood.
Right. Like a. Anyway, I don't.
That doesn't.
I don't know.
I understand the purpose of being prepared. I get that, But to say, oh, we're ready in case the world ends tomorrow. Well, if the world ends, you're kind of with it, you know?
I think it snowballs, like it starts with being prepared for like a natural disaster, and then it kind of snowballs. No, I get too. I do it myself. Like if I know there's a snowstorm
you
coming,
get an extra bag of gummy worms, you know?
Well, no, like I think, okay, you know, am I going to, I mean, we have enough food around here for days.
Right.
But I think, okay, maybe I want an extra snack or something, and if I'm going to be out and about, I'm gonna pick that up. So yeah, so things like that are just making sure I have enough cat food on hand.
And here's a question to our listeners, okay? And we don't talk politically in this, and we don't talk religious because you get everybody mad on either side. So this is a genre of politics, but it is not directly at politics, and I'll explain. We all. We're in America, so we all have the right to vote for who we want to, and we all have selected candidates who we like and who we vote for. And we've all decided whom we're going to vote for, okay? You with me so far? Has anybody ever said, okay, either going to work or going to actual vote and go, well, I'm going to vote for candidate A because I like fill in the blank. Wow, that's a neat yard sign of candidate B. I like that orange on. I'm going to vote for that person. Has a road sign or yard sign ever changed somebody's vote? That's what I would like to know.
I don't understand the whole, because where we live, there's this whole strip of land. I guess that belongs to the subdivision.
I assume, yeah.
But people just put up these.
About a week before it's magical. There's like 25.
They just sprout
signs of any size of every candidate.
It's like somebody planted candidate seeds out there, and then they came up, yeah, and it's like, and then they disappeared just as fast as they came up.
But yeah, have you? Oh, I'm gonna vote. Oh, I like that yard sign. I'm gonna vote for that person now because
that's how I vote.
No, don't. I don't know if that. Yeah, that's what I would love to know the answer to.
I don't know if it's like a beacon, like, oh, okay, I'm like, oh, that person's my homie because they like the same candidate. I've never thought that either, so I don't.
Well, I like everybody until you give me a reason not to.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, what else are we talking about here?
Things that irk you in the world. What irks you in the world? Do you want me to go first while you think?
Yeah.
People not know how to drive whenever somebody's getting on the interstate. Like they don't move over. That you fight to have to lock the brakes up to let them go by, and then you tuck in behind them. Or you have to accelerate really fast in order to get in front of them because they will not move over.
Yeah.
And like everything you buy, in order to operate this piece of equipment, you have to download an app.
Yeah, the app thing is getting to me too.
It's terrible because if that company goes under, that app is gone, and now you got a $50 piece of trash.
Right. And that's a lot of people's complaints is you have to use an app to operate everything, and you can't just plug stuff in.
A light for a tint, a light for this, or a power station if you really want to get in the details of how to do that, or just a kid's activity, a plug-in thing. You have to use an app.
Yeah, that's kind of nutty. Things that irk me is I go to a gym. I go to a smaller gym, and there'll be people who will hog like 3 machines because they'll be doing this rotation and during busier times, and that bothers me because it's like, just do the one thing on the machine, take your breaks, take your time between sets, and then move to the next machine. I get to the point now where I'm like, can I work in? And most of the time the guys are like, yeah, that's fine or whatever, but it's annoying.
Okay, here's one. What is there a specific time in history in which you could teleport from today and go and relive that day, not being able to tell, you're just visiting there for that particular event or day? You can't say where you're from. You can't say what that event is going to transpire into history in 2025 or 2020, wherever you're at in history. But you can teleport from today to one specific day in history to relive with the people of that time. And then after that day's over, you come back to modern time. Do you have one?
I don't know if it's a specific day, but just like maybe like the 60s. Like
you pick a day in the 60s and live for one day.
Like, or the 70s, more the 70s. I just feel like it'd be okay, kind of fun. Kind of like, like the hippies and the free love and yeah.
Okay.
I like the idea of like the whole hippie movement at the start of it.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going to stick to the actual question and not pick just a random decade and a random Thursday in May in 73 to go to stand and watch Abraham Lincoln give the Gettysburg Address.
Why?
It would just be because that is a significant period of time that revolutionized and changed the way America's focus was to be.
That's true.
And then also to be in the crowd to listen to Martin Luther King give I Have a Dream speech.
That would be kind of amazing.
Yeah, because that was a dream that is still trying to be fulfilled in decades later, but have had great movement to where it once was. Because for people, some of you may have lived through that time, and I'm not categorizing you as this type of person, but there was a time where because of the color of your skin, you could not eat with other people. You had to be separated because for whatever reason, if you were a black person, you were like a bad person because of your skin. You couldn't drink water from the same, you couldn't do any of that. And I can't figure out that. I can understand why you may not like somebody because of their behavior, but because of the skin that you were born with, you're a bad person.
And that's not even like the I think, was it Ruby Bridges? That was the first kid that went to the first integrated school, the first child. Mm-hmm. She's only like 65 years old or 70 years old or something. So like that's not that long in the past.
Well, and I'll tell you a story. I grew up in Southern Illinois on a farm, and my great-grandfather, this was back in the 60s when hired help was typically black people. And they just dealt with the torture and the insults, all that, because they were getting paid to do hard labor, and that was just the lifestyle they lived. So when they enjoyed working with my great-grandfather, and I talked when I was younger, they were still around, and I would hear stories. And I didn't know my great-grandmother. She passed away in the late 60s. But whenever they worked for him, they would, at lunchtime, they would go in and get their plate full of stuff, and they would start walking out. And my great-grandfather would go, "Where are you going?" "Oh, when we work for the other farmers, we go sit outside under the tree and eat lunch." He goes, "You work for me, you're eating at my table." So they would eat around his, and they loved because they were allowed to come in the house. And when great-grandma made a pie, apple, peach, whatever, she cut it twice, and you got a quarter piece of pie for dessert. They loved that because he treated them the way they should have been treated everywhere.
Right. And that's a nice story.
Well, this is what we call Chatter Spot. We have one more spot left for the season, and we may do this next year. If you like this kind of thing, let us know. GardenTalkRadio@gmail.com. Hey, when we return, it's time for your garden questions and our garden answers. You're tuned in to the Gardening with Joy and Holly radio show.
Got a question for Joey and Holly? Send it via email anytime to gardentalkradio@gmail.com.
Good garden tools make gardening easier. Wisconsin-made Cobra Head tools simplify weeding, cultivating, digging, and planting. Favorites of professional gardeners, Cobra Head tools are durable, ergonomic, and easy to work with. Visit CobraHead.com and use coupon code SOIL for 10% off your order. David J. Frank, Southeastern Wisconsin's leading landscape company, is a landscaper you need. Their award-winning services include everything from lawn care, landscape maintenance, design, construction, renovation, irrigation, sustainability, and more. Big or small, let the experts at David J. Frank handle the hard work for you. Find out more at davidjfrank.com.
Mantis garden tiller cultivators are the perfect solution for any garden. With their gas-powered 2-cycle or 4-cycle engine, these powerful machines can till 9 or 16 inches of land without you breaking a sweat. And it doesn't stop there. Mantis's optional attachments allow you to aerate, plow, and more with the snap of a finger. Engineered with durability in mind, Mantis tiller cultivators will be your guaranteed garden companion for a long time. You can find more out and details at mantis.com.
A non-selective herbicide that is also USDA Bio-Preferred certified? You bet. Say goodbye to Roundup and hello to No More Weeds by Naturally Green Products. No More Weeds kills weeds with no harsh chemicals and no glyphosate. Safe around pets, No More Weeds has a proprietary sticking agent to use around gardens, pools, decks, patios, anywhere there are weeds. Available online at natgreenproducts.com Amazon, and Walmart.com. Order yours today. The same great company that brings you no more bugs. Pomona's Universal Pectin is a high-quality pectin that gels reliably with low amounts of any sweetener. If you're trying to reduce the amount of sugar in your diet, you'll love Pomona's Universal Pectin. Now you can make healthy homemade jams and jellies sweetened to your taste. You can use sugar or honey to sweeten. Pomona's Universal Pectin keeps indefinitely when stored in an airtight container. Easy to use, versatile, and comes with directions and recipes in every box. Find out more and where to buy at PomonaPectin.com. Also available at natural food stores and online.
Welcome back to the Garden with Joy and Holly radio show. Happy to have you around. Hey, it's garden question and answer time. You got a question, we got an answer for you. Send it on over to gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com. Or you can give us a call toll free coast to coast at 1-800-927-7469 like our first caller has done.
Hey, Joy and Holly. I love listening to your show. I have a red delicious apple tree. About 20 years it's been in the ground. About 20 feet tall, probably 40 feet wide. A microburst came through our town of Lockport, Illinois, and it blew it sideways. Now it's half laying on the ground. Am I able to bring this tree, cut the branches down, and maybe pull it back straight up? Or is the tree no good no more? My name is John, and again, I'm from Lockport, Illinois.
Well, John, thank you so much for your call. You can do the same as John, toll free, coast to coast, 1-800-927-SHOW. And there's good news for this.
Yeah, so you can, if you can pick the tree up, the part that's on the, on the ground. What is that? If you can pick the tree up, the part that's on the ground, and take cables, like I think of those bike lock cables.
A ratchet strap.
Ratchet straps, yeah. Something that you can kind of strap it together.
It's laying on the ground, and he needs to upright it.
Yeah.
So they're based on the center of gravity. You're going to have to figure out how to wrap a chain or cable around, and you can gently, with a ratchet strap or a come along, to gently pull this thing back up. And then you're going to have to stake it down because the roots have been all shuffled around under the ground. If you do it correctly, it will be successful.
Right. So once you have it stabilized and ratcheted back together or cabled back together, whatever, you don't want to use like bolts or screws or anything like that.
Well, it's not split. It's just laying on the ground. It's not split open. It's just tipped over on the ground.
Oh, the whole tree?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, so once you get it stabilized, it should be fine. I thought it was split in half.
No, you're going to have to support it because it's going to be loose, but it's not detrimental to the tree.
No, apple trees are very forgiving. Now, if there are areas where it is split apart, then you would want to cable it together somehow, make sure that it's secured, that it's put back together and held together by something strong. And then if there are any huge cracks, fractures in the tree, you want to take pruning sealer and put that along the cracks. And you can also put this maybe along the roots. That way it'll help prevent insects from burrowing into there.
And he said it was an apple tree, so he's, I assume, picking apples off of it now to lessen the weight. Yeah. And then if he can get it upright before winter and try to get it reestablished, because it will kind of start reestablishing. So you're going to have to, if you have a tree of this nature, most arborists will at least come in and give you a free estimate on what and how they would do it. So you can kind of pick their brain. There's videos online that will tell you exactly how to do this as well. So again, good news, the tree does not have to be destroyed. It will and can be saved. Now,
I'm not trying to promote like a social media platform, but Reddit had a lot of information about apple trees and
good information. Yeah,
about apple tree problems like this apparently. So because any fruit tree is kind of top heavy when it's got a lot of fruit on it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Have any of you used a kiddie pool to plant strawberries in? I want to keep them confined.
I think it's a good idea as long as you put holes in them.
Well, the problem with strawberries is...
Well, I mean, they shoot out the runners.
Correct.
Yeah.
Certain June-bearing ones will shoot out the runners. There are other ones that don't do that as prolific. You're going to have to, a kiddie pool is about 8 inches tall. You're going to fill that with soil. You're going to have drainage holes. So you're going to bust holes in the bottom. And you're going to have to keep that thing happy and healthy and moist all year long to get a couple of weeks of strawberries. We had strawberries in the ground a number of years ago. They last for about 5 to 7 years. And yeah, we started out with probably a patch that was 8 foot wide. And at its max, it was 15 foot wide width. It didn't, and then the garden length was 12 foot. So they will expand if you allow them to. You can control these runners. You can go in and snip them off so they don't continue to expand like a Egyptian onion that will fall and replant and fall and replant. That's what is occurring with these runners. So, and the people that grow them in containers, again, you're trying to keep them alive for 46 weeks a year for a couple of weeks, 4 or 5 weeks of strawberries. I would go ahead and put them in the ground if at all possible in an area where you are not going to be visiting frequently. The ground is going to hold moisture even when it's dry.
Yeah. That's one thing about being a kiddie pool is that it is the matter of keeping.
I know you're going to have probably irrigation, but still, right. It's a whole.
I would just try it personally and see how it goes. I would be aware though that they could easily expand to that outside of that kiddie pool unless you are very diligent about making sure that once the runners shoot off that you keep them confined, but it could overtake.
Okay, next question. I'm sure it has been asked, but I have to redo my raised beds since they were destroyed in a car accident. I always just use regular topsoil with sand, but is there a more affordable big box brand of bag soil that works well for asparagus and garlic? Thanks in advance.
Yeah.
First of all, raised beds, I understand the purpose of a raised bed is to have soil that is good, loose, and nutrient. If you're just using topsoil and sand, you might as well not have a raised bed.
That's what I was just going to say is that I don't think it's worth it because it's not very nutrient dense soil, nutrient dense growing medium, whatever you want to call it.
Correct.
And then it is more affordable. I understand that, but
if you do the soil math,
yeah,
and you find your local independent garden center or yard, you can get around here where we're at. We haven't had soil delivered in a couple of years, but it was $60 for a delivery of soil. And it was like $35 a cubic yard, or $35 or $40 for a cubic yard of compost. And that's what we used. We used 100% compost. So by the time you fight to get the bags and all of this, your money ahead and time just to have it delivered. And what we always do when we have soil delivered is, okay, we calculate we need 3 yards of compost for a raised bed. We'll get 5 yards and take that extra 2 yards and put in the back corner and put it on a tarp and just let it set until we need it and then top fill the beds so you're not paying for another load of compost in a couple of years. It's already there.
Right. That makes the most sense to me. So that's what I would do for the garlic, asparagus, and whatever else you are growing.
All right. The stem on my sunflower has broken. Should I cut it off completely or wait? I wanted to make sunflower seeds. Is it too late to save them for seed? Well, the stem is already broken, and the flower is not to the level of the seeds being dried. The seeds are not fully mature, which means you're not going to have sunflower seed germination for next year.
But what you can do is you can roast that sunflower head, kind of like corn.
Uh-huh.
And then you can eat the premature sunflower seeds. Like corn.
Like sweet corn.
Yeah.
And is that something that people can do that if they have the problem like you that cannot ingest corn?
I don't see why not. I haven't tried it yet.
The sunflower seeds would be different.
I haven't gotten any huge sunflowers in a while. But once I do get a huge sunflower, I'm going to try it.
All right. Let's see. Can anyone tell me why my acorn squash skins are all bright orange? Not a dark green one in the bunch. No pumpkins planted at all. Only butternut squash are close. Well, you may have a different variety of acorns. There's golden acorn squash, and then there's a golden yellow acorn squash, but the green acorn squash turns orange when they become overripe. So it may not be the traditional acorn squash you think, and you've gotten a combination of something else. Well, we are out of time, and we thank you for yours. Miss any portion of the program today or would like to revisit it? Our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, is where all information can be found. Tune into the program next week, where we'll be discussing trees that are not good for your backyard. If you're thinking about planting trees, we got a list for you that you don't want to plant, as well as winter crock pot dishes, vegan, vegetarian, and traditional ones. And we have our guest, author Marcus Bridgewater, will be with us, and we'll answer your garden questions. So until next week, for
Holly Baird,
I'm Joey Baird, and we will see you in the garden.